I've come under a lot of flack recently for my criticism of the CPT format because I am a little bit concerned about how we are distributing these opportunities to the world, because I've criticized how most of it's online now. And part of that is because they've distributed a lot of places to qualify via the World Warrior program, which I think is an amazing thing to give opportunities to all these regions that wouldn't have CPT formats. However, my concern I bring up, and I wonder what you think about this as someone who's kind of made it from a region that didn't really have these opportunities originally. My concern is when you build up the players in their own region online, the audience doesn't get the opportunity to learn about the players themselves and the history, because first of all, people don't tend to watch these online tournaments, right? They're not engaging. There's no humanity behind it because you can't see the players, you can't see the passion, you can't see the hype. And two, they don't get to gauge them against players that they have established and know where they are. Like, oh, when Tokido went to South Africa and lost to JBM, I know Tokido is godlike, therefore JBM is godlike, right? When you went to Capcom Cup and you beat Tokido, same thing. It's like, well, MenaRD must be godlike. He beat all these godlike players. I cannot deny this, right? So I feel like there's an issue with that right now where we're not building up these players before they get into Capcom Cup for people to know about them. And because there's this lack of international cross-pollination against known players, it's really hard for fans outside of that region to start appreciating these players and their talents. And when they get to Capcom Cup, even if they have a stacked group or whatever, it's one tournament. And if they don't perform, people go, oh, I knew it. They weren't good to begin with, which is unfair and not true. And I have concerns about this format doing that. So I was wondering how you feel about how the format has shifted mostly online versus these offline opportunities, because it is difficult to impossible for some of these players to get to these events. But I'm hoping we can find a better way to build up these players, maybe put more offline tournaments in their regions to, make it so that we can build the players up, give them opportunities, and build rapport and respect with the audience. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about that.
Yeah, well, right now, Brian, being honest, I'm fed up. You're fed up. All of us, we're tired because it's another extreme. Right now, it's just mainly online. And the reason is that we have to understand a pandemic happened, right? And they never made the shift. But right now it's not good at all. Like I can say it. It's not the best product Capcom has put out, and I feel they know it. I feel like they know, and changes should be coming soon. I do feel like you shouldn't sacrifice a platform to create another platform that doesn't even do the same thing that the first one does. I believe the CPT before highlighted the best players in the world. The issue was that the audience was getting, a little bit overwhelmed of just Japanese talent. It's just Japanese players, and they don't have any storylines. They don't have someone relatable to root for, yada yada. But when you start spreading out and bringing in these regions, then that balance, that's when it comes together beautifully. Every time I remember that Capcom Cup 2015 with the one Kazunoko one, I remember I watched Keoma make top 8, and I was so proud of him. I'd never been to Brazil. I don't speak Portuguese, but I was proud because I saw Latin America there, and he was playing at the highest level. You feel me? But when you're just beating your own friends to make it to the World Cup, and then fighting your own friends there, like it happened, Kava and I, JPM and Ren, they fought in pools because it's random.
Yeah.
Like the product is not good, and I think that the changes definitely should be coming soon. But I feel the balance lies in they had it. You had some online events per region, right? But it's not the majority. It's just to get at least one representative, and the best of that region then comes out to the World Cup. But the World Cup should be mainly filled by the best players in the world. And when you see that representative perform well there or even win it, then that's a story, because you're beating the best of the best. You're not beating the best of this region that qualify beating his friends, and then this guy that qualify beating his friends, and then maybe 3 or 4 from the strong regions in the world. Like, come on, and then the format is random. There's no seeding. So the best in the world might just eliminate themselves.
Right.
Like, come on. Like, we're going to have a situation like what happened last year. And And you don't want that. You want that, but you don't want that because you can have what happened last year happen again. You have a
Right.
guy from nowhere. You have a storyline like it happened with Uma. This guy won't disappeared. He disappeared from the world. And it's like, bro, it's okay if you are the best player in the world and you know it. You have that love for the game. Even if you want to quit, that you've had that. I see your ad. I saw your ad yesterday. You're like, oh, I'm a streamer, and you play because you have that love for the game. I feel like you had someone that's good at the game that put in the time, but did it for a profession. But right, he
Mm.
didn't have that love for the game. He won. I'm out. I'm
Mm.
out because you don't have the filter. You don't have the difficulty in the World Cup for someone like that to not win. And it's not a disrespect to Uma. He played like the best, and I said it, the best Yuri in the world. But I feel like if it was a little bit more challenging, maybe he will have stayed because he will love the game. He will be like, bro, I can't leave. I
Mm.
have challenges to make. I gotta win. But then he went to the cup. What he was doing online, it worked in Capcom Cup. He got a milli. He was like, I'm not doing this again. Like this is
Mm.
not. It's not enjoyable. So I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. And it's not on Uma. It's on the way the tour works. If I can win the World Cup doing what I'm doing at home in my boxers, it's not even fun. It's not even fun. I got the money, that I got what I wanted. But when you have a real World Cup where you have to devote your life to even get the chance to win, or you just have to be, insane to beat all the best players in the world, then that's different. And I feel like that's was lacking. And nobody says it out loud, but as players, we all know it. As players, we all know it.
Mm.
Everybody around it knows it, and the product just has to change.
Wow.
That's how I feel.